By mutual, unspoken agreement, Charlie had been the last one into the tech room, allowing him to dash to the next room if necessary. Elise didn't seem to be in distress. Her hands, still clutching the lens, now rested in her lap, her head lowered as if she was looking at the lens. Charlie stepped into the hallway and cracked the door to the interview room slowly, trying to be as quiet as possible. The snick, as the latch disengaged, seemed to be puncturing the stillness of the room before him. Closer now, he could see tears streaming down her face, her shoulders and back shuddering with silent sobs. Charlie knelt down beside her and gently touched her shoulder. "It's okay. It's over. It's going to be okay. You're going to be all right." His words sounded hollow in his ears, but they seemed to be having an effect. Elise's sobbing grew slower, her ragged breaths deeper. She straightened her back slowly and sniffed hard, blinking the last of the tears away. "You okay?" Charlie nodded to him. Nodded to her. Elise nodded back. "Just need a minute." Charlie nodded again, not taking his hand away from where it rested on her own. "Can I get a tissue?" "Oh, geez. Sure, sorry. 1 second. Be right back." Charlie jumped up and hurried out of the room, spinning around in the hallway as he tried to decide where the closest box of Kleenex might be found. "Wilkins, here." Lucero shoved a square box in Charlie's hands. "Was under the monitor." "Terrific, thanks." Charlie dashed back to Elise where she was reaching for the case, still sniffing as she wiped her face on her shoulders. "Here you go." Charlie set the tissues on the floor next to her and paused, unsure where to look or what to do next. Watching someone blow their nose always felt a little awkward to him in the best of circumstances, like at weddings, and this was definitely not the best of circumstances. I'll just be outside in the hallway for a minute. I'll be right back." He watched as Elise smiled at him gratefully before grabbing a handful of tissues. Charlie stepped back out into the hallway and turned back to the tech room. "She seems to be doing a lot better this time," Lucero noted as Charlie entered. I guess we're all just getting better at this as we go," Charlie answered. "We're still no closer to solving this, though." Farley's comment hanged in the air. "That was the most horrible thing I have ever seen. I don't know if I can... I don't know." Janet's voice sounded thick and uneven. Lucero looked over at the lab tech with concern. "You don't have a lot of training in this kind of thing, do you?" "Not really, sir. Dead bodies I can handle. Crime scenes, autopsies, none of it's pretty, but it's clinical. You're detached from... I don't know. I can't explain it." "I get what you're saying," Lucero nodded at Thorne. "Watching someone being raped and murdered is not the same." "No, sir. It's not the same at all." "You gonna be okay?" Lucero asked. Janet nodded. "Yeah. Maybe I'll take a quick walk around the building, clear my head, see some living things, trees, flowers, color, smell exhaust." "Sounds like a great idea. Let me check on Miss Campbell, see how she's doing. Have everyone meet back in the war room in 10 minutes. Get some coffee, bathroom break, whatever. I think we could all use a reset after that." He shook his head. "Farley's right, though. This test was almost as useless as the first one." By unspoken agreement. I was grateful for a few moments alone as I tried to pull myself together. Tissues helped with the visible results, but internally, I was a basket case. I felt like I had just lived a murder, that I had not only witnessed it visually, but actually ever lived it physically. I've never been a huge fan of crime dramas to begin with, and this was like being 6 inches away from the act as it was happening, for real. The close-up, three-dimensional image had now been permanently seared into my memory. I could only hope and pray that I wasn't going to end up dreaming it too. At the moment, all I felt was exhaustion. A sorrow too big, too immense to imagine filled my chest. I just wanted to go back to sleep, but I wasn't sure how I was even going to get myself upright, let alone with the 20-minute drive back home. I was trying to scrape up enough energy to stand when I heard footsteps outside the door. A timid knock preceded the sound of more footsteps coming toward me. "Hey, how are you feeling?" That would be Charlie. calm, steady Charlie, ready to assist if needed, and nearly made me cry again, but I stuffed the emotion down quickly. I'm okay. I just need to sleep. I need to go home. Right. I thought you would want to do that. Can I give you a ride home? Charlie's voice cracked and he cleared his throat. Farley can follow in your car. We can drop you both off. You can drop both off you and your car at your place, and then we'll get out of your way. How does that sound? I caught myself in feeling an instant's disappointment. They'll drop me off and leave? But I shoved that down with everything else I didn't want to think about right now. Sounds good, I managed with a thumbs up. Charlie chuckled and patted me on the shoulder. Excellent. Want a couple more minutes, or are you ready to go now? My bag? I started to turn and reach behind me. Here, let me help you with that. I heard the loud text pulse behind me as I leaned over, reaching for the bag. Thorne moved past me carefully, sliding the bag over. That's awesome, thanks. I managed it. I got the lens in the case, the lid on the case, and the case in the bag. Keys out of my pocket. I handed them to Charlie, then started to try to push myself upright. Here, hey, let me give you a hand there. Janet knelt at my side and took my hand, placing it on her shoulder. Just push as hard as you need to. I've got you. I didn't know what to say, except, thanks. Okay, and pushed myself upright. Janet stood up with me, watching me carefully. You've done this before? I couldn't help to ask, but a smile. She laughed quietly and nodded. Home health care aide, when I was going to school. Forensic sciences. Wow, that's a pretty tough schedule. I couldn't begin to imagine. She just shrugged. Come on, let's get you out of here. I could not agree more, so I let her lead me out a back entrance where Charlie and his partner waited to take me home.